we have to think out of the box if we want to be successful, also as an automotive brand. I'm not a fan of micromanagement. People which are in responsible functions in all levels, they have to take the decisions, and you need to enable them to take the right decisions because they are the experts. You need to guide the organization brave enough, innovative enough and fast enough, and also in a close collaboration with the business, but also with the mindset of how this can make business to the outside. At the end of the day, I'm happy if we have success as a team.
This is CIONET TV. My name is Hendrik Deckers. I'm here today with Sebastian Grams, who is the CIO of Seat and Cupra. A very warm welcome, Sebastian.
Thank you, Hendrik. Nice to meet you here.
Sebastian, you have an engineering degree and a PhD from the Karlsruhe Institute of Technology. You started your career at Audi about 20 years ago, and then in 2018 you moved to Spain and Barcelona to become the Chief Information Officer of Seat and Cupra. So Sebastian, in a nutshell, tell us a little bit more about who you are, your background, and how did you arrive in this position as CIO?
Yeah, Hendrik. So from my perspective, so I would describe myself a little bit as a transformation story, on my own transformation story. Mm-hmm. So started with as you said, with an engineering background in Audi. 2000, exactly 2000, so 21 years ago, which is a long time, to be honest, if I'm reflecting that. And I've started indeed in motorsport, so developing engines for the Le Mans project for Audi was a quite successful time. And during my career as an engineer, I moved from motorsport into the serial development of high-performance engines. And over project leading functionalities, I moved later on into the area of new mobility, into the area of new powertrain concept. This was the point of time where the whole automotive industry was still in the diesel and in the gasoline engine sector. And there was a hard discussion, okay, what is the future? This point of time I was already discussing about electrical engines. Now we are exactly in this age. So the electrical age is there. I was early in that discussion, in these strategy topics involved, and over the simulation responsibility in the R&D department, I was a big customer of the IT department in Audi, and this was let's say the bridge of moving from the engineering department into the IT. Because the former CIO of Audi was searching someone who knows the R&D department very good and make better relationship between the IT and the R&D department. So more or less 6 years ago, I decided myself to transform again. So from, let's say, classical engines into alternative engines, I moved from the powertrain from the powertrain department into IT. And this was a very interesting journey, I have to say, because I learned everything about a classical IT in Audi. I transformed also the Audi IT. So there was the target these days also to start a journey of resorting the organization, making the organization much more modern, bringing agility into the organization. And I would say this was also the time the group recognized that I'm not so bad in transformation stories, and then they asked me to help to transform Seat, the digital journey of Seat, also the IT, and former CEO Luca De Meo asked me. I knew him from Audi before, and also Martin Hofmann as the group CIO from Volkswagen. They asked me to jump over to Seat, and this was in summer 2018. And I would say we have started a fantastic transformation journey, a fantastic digital transformation journey, and happy to discuss with you further insights about that.
Okay, great. So you So, I mean, the car industry is under a lot of change. Where in the past, engines and the hardware was very important, and now they're becoming computers on wheels almost. So the digital part is becoming much more important. But let's maybe, I mean, we all know the Volkswagen Group and Audi and so, but let's maybe position Seat a little bit, and Seat and the second brand Cupra. What is it that Seat really focuses on and does really, really well?
So first of all, Seat is part of the Volkswagen Group. So we are a full member of the Volkswagen Group. What you have to know is that Seat is targeting a younger customer group of drivers. So we are having in the average 10 years younger customers. Like the other brands, which is very interesting because this is giving us also the opportunity to enter different fields of customer focus points. Yeah, so as I said, Seat part of the Volkswagen Group, Cupra as a second strong brand, let's say born out of Seat, focusing on the sport cars, on the performance sector of cars, also on young customers as well. And inside Seat and Cupra, we have also created a third brand, which is called Seat Mo. And Seat Mo is leading all mobility activities of Seat around the car. Yeah, so we are talking here about electrical scooters. We are talking here about kick scooters, which is quite an interesting market. And I think we will jump later on also into these kind of ideas. Yeah.
So that means that car companies are becoming mobility companies and providing much more than just cars, but also providing mobility services. That the direction that also Seat is going into? Exactly.
So Seat Mo is also leading the micro-mobility activities in the Volkswagen Group, yeah, which is a very interesting space, especially if you are having your company in the area of Barcelona, where most of the people not owning a real car. They are using mobility, but they have no space. And this is exactly what we are focusing on. And here's also part of our entry point with the digital transformation. So we are trying to boost this kind of new mobility with our digital solutions in the background.
Okay. So you arrived in Barcelona in 2018. And so tell us a little bit the journey that you have gone through in the last couple of years and the transformation and the changes that you have implemented there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's an easy question, but I could talk with you. I don't know, 3 days, probably more, because for me, to be honest, these nearly 3 years were one of the most intense business times of my life, but also from a private perspective. Besides of that, my daughter was also born in Barcelona, 2019. And regarding the transformation story, so I arrived exactly summer 2018, and then I jumped directly into the adventure to transform the company into a more digital place than before.
Okay.
And let's say the most important topic at the beginning was that we involved not only the IT department and the digital units for the transformation of the company, we involved from the very beginning on all the different business areas, yeah, to take them on the journey, to work together on a common plan, on a common strategy, on a vision. And after only 3 months, we presented our results. Only 3 months is for a target process and for a vision process really short, but we presented that exactly 1 day before Christmas 2018 to the board. I remember that day very well. So, and Luca De Meo and the rest of the board were quite surprised and also impressed what the team has done. And this for me was kind of the important fundament that everybody from the company side was involved in our idea and in our way we want to go. And from that point on, in January, we started to implement all these topics. So to give you a little bit of an idea, what were our, let's say, I would call it key pillars of our digital transformation. In the overall picture, we said we need to create a journey back to technology. Yeah, I personally believe this is not only necessary in the IT department or the digital space. This is also important in the R&D department. We have outsourced a lot of topics in the past years because of cost reasons, but the companies, they growed, and at the end we recognized also that this is maybe a little bit the cheaper way, but you are losing completely the knowledge, and you are losing completely also the control of the things. And if you want to enter, let's say, innovative spaces, you need to keep the knowledge in your house. So the key pillar overall, or the frame around, was this story of back to technology. We decided to create a new organization from an IT perspective, which is caring about projects end to end. So if somebody is taking over the responsibility of a product, of a digital product, he's responsible from the very beginning until to the delivery of the project for the business area. And we also decided not starting any project without having a product owner from the business area. Because this was also a learning I did in Audi, or I had in Audi, that things were developed, and at the end, at the delivery day, the customer was saying, well, this is not what I have ordered, I'm sorry. You have to go back and you have to start new, or you have to adapt the things. So these were also the ways how we worked on IT projects, on digital products. We changed completely. One topic. On the other side, as I said, back to technology, we decided to insource a lot of key functionalities. So starting from network specialists over threat hunters in the IT security department until the most important topic, and this is also which was the entry point for our SEAT Code company, our new company. We insourced also software developers. So in the past, I started here in SEAT, we had only 10% of technical profiles inside our organization, and now 2.5 years later we have more than 50% of technical profiles inside our organization. So we are much more capable to do things, to understand things, and this is only one side of the medal. The other side is that we believe, and this is also what our results tells us, that we are faster in delivering the things. We are much faster in delivering the things. We are delivering the things in a higher quality, and we are delivering also the things in a really closer connection to the business areas, that the product at the end is fulfilling the expectations of the business area, of the customer itself.
Okay, so you arrived summer 2018, you presented your big plan just before Christmas 18, and there part of the plan was to start this new company, SEAT Code, and that was born almost in the same time period as your daughter. So April 2019, around that, you started with SEAT Code with the idea we need to take back control and knowledge in-house, not only of car manufacturing and some R&D processes there, but also the digital aspects of the business. So can you tell us a little bit, how did you set up SEAT Code as a separate company?
Yeah, so as you said, Code was born also 2019, directly straight after presenting the vision. And for me, first of all, SEAT Code is my second daughter. Yeah. As I explained several times, because both were born in April 2019 in Barcelona, and I see both growing day by day. And also to give you the idea, what about Code? As I said, one aspect was we wanted to have the software development in-house. Yeah, at least for the major, most important strategic projects. But the second idea here was also to use or to enter the digital development to earn money with digital products. Okay, so one side, faster more reliable partner to the business, but on the other side, showing that the digital space is quite an interesting space also from the profit side. How we have started that? We started completely greenfield approach. So we decided from the very beginning on, and we have compared different kind of ways to move on with such a mission. At the end, we decided to start really from the greenfield approach, building a complete new company with a complete new structure, with complete own processes, besides of the classical organization. Also using this vehicle to transform not only the IT department, also to transform the old big organization itself. And to give you a little bit of some key figures, we have today 150 employees in this company, and 99% of the employees are people which are really coding. The rest of the team, and these are only 3, are management team. So you can see that this is kind of a very, very lean structure, and also the leaders of the different product lines in our company, they are developing by themselves. So also the leaders of these product lines, and this is something also unique, they are doing only partially management activities day by day, and this is creating kind of a atmosphere of a working field where you really see things are moving forward from a software producing view.
Yeah, and you set this up as a separate company because you're convinced that innovation really happens at the edge of organizations, that you need greenfield organizations to innovate, that it's very difficult to innovate within existing structures. Is that why?
Yeah, so what I've learned is that, that classical organizations are doing hard to move such fast, yeah? Especially if you want to disrupt things. It's more difficult if you want to implement things into a classical organization. So therefore we've decided to make it separate, and then using the good elements and the good source of this new company to help the rest of the old organization to move also in the right direction. And this is exactly what we have done. The other topic for me is also if you want to be fast, for example with hiring, you need different kind of processes. If you want to sell products, and we are normally only selling cars, yeah, you have these classical organizations, but if you want to sell tomorrow software, how do you do that? So you need other skills, other processes to be successful with that. And this is exactly what we have done.
So it's almost like a startup, a software startup within a large organization, and now becoming a scale-up. I mean, there's 150 employees right now. Can you talk a little bit about the numbers, what kind of revenues, profits, and so on that you have for targets?
Yes. So we closed the first full business year, which was 2020, so last year, with a double digit of profit, which is very impressive, I have to say. Because if you know how the margins normally and the profit is in the automotive sector, it's much lower. And what we could show to our board here was that the digital business is not only quite an interesting business in terms of disruption, but also quite an interesting field of profitability and business growth. Yeah, and this is exactly what we have shown. We have onboarded last year 100 people, most of them completely remotely, which is also quite unique. We have done also, or we have today people which are working, for example, in Canada or other countries, completely remotely. So this is also completely a new kind of working culture, working ecosystem, I would call it, yeah. And but this is helping also to disrupt the rest of the company, because I think personally we have to think out of the box if we want to be successful also as an automotive brand. And this was, and Hendrik, let me maybe tell you this one, coming also out of the classical space, yeah, as I told you, this was also teaching me so much things, yeah, how you can do things differently, and again, amazing journey, nearly 3 years, and the time was so fast flying for me here in Barcelona with all these topics.
So SEAT is based in Martorell, outside of Barcelona, but you decided to start SEAT Code in Barcelona itself. Why did you want to bring this into the city?
Different reasons. First of all, you have to know that the old SEAT roots are in Barcelona. So the first plant of SEAT was based in Barcelona, and then SEAT was growing the years, and then some years ago they decided, the company decided to move out to Martorell because there's more space for bigger plants. Today we have 3 production lines in Martorell. This was the reason because we moved out. But the original roots of SEAT are Barcelona. This was one reason, because we decided we wanted to bring also the new age of the company back to the city center, where everything of the history of SEAT began. One topic. The other topic for sure is also we wanted to be a very attractive brand for digital natives. As I told you, most of our employees here in SEAT Code, they are not having their own car, so they are needing public transport systems. They are coming with bicycles, they are coming with the metro, with the buses, with sharing companies to the offices. And this was the other reason, because we decided to be in the city center. And on the other side, major part of our business is also we want to build digital solutions. Our first digital product is a mobility platform. So maybe let me explain you what kind of product lines we have in Code. The first biggest product line today is our mobility product line. The second product line is everything about customer experience, so how we can make our customers fanboys and fangirls of our brands. And the third pillar, the third product line is our products around production and logistics. And being, let's say, provider of mobility solutions, of digital mobility products, it is also for us a good move to be in the city center, because here you can also in a kind of a test field of mobility, yeah, so you can prove your products, you can show your products, and this is the third reason because we have decided to be in Barcelona.
So how far away do you think we are from a complete effortless mobility as a service for customers, where I can just use the train and a scooter and an autonomous driving car and all that together seamlessly works and is a very happy and a nice thing to use as a customer. How far away are we from that?
It's a very good question, Hendrik. To be honest, if we are willing to do so, we are not so far away from that. So the technical solution, the digital solution is ready, more or less. Yeah. So as I said, we developed a mobility platform. With our mobility platform, you are able to connect with whatever kind of IoT solution, the different kind of vehicles. So from a bicycle over kick scooter until a e-scooter until a car. So this is already working. We are also having some nice proof of concepts to connect things to the, let's say, to the public transport system. So I would say from this point of view, we are not such far away from a solution. The other question for me here is where do we need to implement these kind of solutions? Okay, if we are talking about a big city like Barcelona, we should be and we are much closer to realize things like that. But if you think about, we have also to mobilize people, they are living outside the city. Maybe this is not necessary to have these kind of of solutions. So I would say ready soon, but available in different areas. Yes, in other areas not needed. And the same I see also the future of autonomous driving, if you ask me. So you will have spaces in the future where it's absolutely mandatory to have it, because you need to save time. You are not willing to drive because you need to work, or you need to relax, or you need to have some other topics to do. But then you have other sectors where the customer, like our Cupra customers, they just want to have fun with the car, where the people are moving with their cars and they are happy to move with their cars. In between, so there could be different kind of, let's say, mergings and intermediate solutions to say, okay, what kind of purpose vehicle the customer wants to drive. So maybe in the weekend, or at the weekend, he wants to drive into the mountains to Andorra, not far away from Barcelona. He needs a bigger car, he needs a SUV. But in the week time, he need a smaller car to allow him to park. So I think it's not an easy question. Solution could be available soon. We are working heavily on providing such kind of solutions, because we also believe that we have now a good package out of being a digital provider. And also on the other side, being a hardware provider of the physical product itself.
Yeah, it must be a very exciting time to be in the car industry today, because there's new players coming up. You have the Ubers and the Teslas and the electric cars, and so many things changing nowadays. That's really exciting.
Absolutely. So for me, 21 years, as I told you, the first years for me, for sure, as an engineer, were very attractive and very interesting. But from a disruptive point of view, it was more from the same. And since the discussion we had about alternative drivetrains, alternative powertrains, the world is changing. You have the CO2 regulations, you have the access restrictions of cities, which is also an aspect why a mobility platform could be very interesting. I would say it's really one of the best moments to be in the automotive industry. One of the most interesting moments to be in the automotive industry, because nobody is able to look into the crystal ball and to foresee the future of that. But we can work for a better future on that.
Now, in Seat Code, next to the mobility platform or services that you're building, you also talked about customer experience. Can you elaborate a little bit on that? What is it? What kind of applications are you providing to which customers?
Yeah, one good example I would like to explain you is our fast lane concept. The fast lane concept of Seat is a concept where the customer can order a car within only 21 days. So if he's going to the dealer and signing the contract for his new car, he's getting the keys in his hands in only 21 days. Why is this possible? Because of a lot of digitalization in the background, which you are not seeing, let's say, from the outside so easy. We have connected here the different logistic providers, and we know exactly which parts are available, when the parts are available, that we can calculate it in the background that this is really a 21 days car. And on top to that, and you have to know we have thousands of different providers which are delivering parts to our plants day by day. That's one of the most complex ecosystem of an automotive company, the logistic streams, to know when the parts are, and also one of the most cost incentive spaces, because if you have the parts too early, too long in your storage, you're burning a hell of a money for your company. So what we are working out here is on using the data we have. So we are tracking the parts, we are tracking the lorries, we are tracking them also over the sea by the ship. We know exactly where the parts are. and we are connecting all the different providers to our platform, and this gives us the reason to offer the customer this kind of unique user experience. And the cool thing is, an additional feature what we have on top is our so-called, we call it tracking tool. The customer is also getting a QR code of this car, and then he can track his car through the production process. So he's signing the contract, he's getting the QR code, he knows in 21 days my car will be delivered, and within these 21 days the customer can follow his car in the production line. So he sees, okay, at the moment it's in the body shop, it's going to be painted. So this is a really, really nice experience, I have to say, for the customer to really looking forward to get the keys and the new car.
Yeah. Now, also in automotive, I think data is key to success, and becoming a fully data-driven organization is a very important competitive advantage that you need, or you need that to beat your competition. Can you accept, you gave the examples how data is very important to track where your parts are that you need to assemble the vehicles. Can you give an example where SEAT is really a data-driven company, or becomes more and more of a data-driven company, applications for that?
Yeah, I would jump back to the mobility platform, because this is for me really the future. So here we are making better business if we understand the data. So with the mobility platform, as I said, last year we have launched our mobility platform in Barcelona with our sub-brand SEAT more than 600 electrical scooters we are running in the metropolitan area of Barcelona day by day, and we are collecting all the data points of this fleet. And we know by collecting the data points of the fleet exactly the behavior of our fleet, of our customers, of our clients, and we can, and this is exactly what we are doing. We are optimizing our business day by day. Yeah. The question is, how can you get out the maximum out of these more than 600 scooters day by day in terms of trips, in terms of rotation rate, in terms of incentives for different customers, because they are really good customers for us. So this is for me a really good example of a data-driven company in the mobility space. And I can tell you we are collecting thousands of data points day by day. We are making profiling of our products, and we have optimized the fleet within the last months a lot, really from month to month, to increase the income and the profit of these mobility service in Barcelona.
How important is, or how far are you today with the implementation of artificial intelligence on top of all that data that's there, and do you have some use cases for that?
Yeah. Also with the mobility platform, so we have in the back office functionality, we are using a lot of algorithm, to train our platform, to train our service for the customer. This is just an example, and then we have different other areas also inside the company where we are using that. Yeah. We are not using, let's say, everywhere artificial intelligence. For me also a first step here is a lot of automation topics. Yeah. So inside the company we have a lot of let's say classical business to deal. We are dealing also a lot of Excel things, a lot of classical routines inside the organization, and before we are talking about artificial intelligence, what we are handling for sure with the mobility space. I think inside the company there's a lot of need of automation, of doing bot functionality in the purchasing department, in the finance department, in the HR department, and we have implemented more than 100 different bot functionalities last year. This is just an example of how technology is also boosting our classical business inside our organization.
Okay, so you're a big believer of RPA,
Yes.
process automation with robots?
Yes.
Okay, very cool. Let's talk a bit more about how IT and digital is organized. So you have your 150 people team in Barcelona, but in fact internationally, all working from home. And then you have your traditional team in Martorell. How do they work together? How do you make sure that, I can imagine almost two different cultures work very well together?
Yeah, but I have only one team, so I don't like if you are speaking about two different teams. I have really one team. We always call it one team in two different locations. So this is completely, as I told you, also open space. Yes, we have an office here in Barcelona, but also my organization from Martorell you can find here. So the idea is also that you have a continuous, let's say, flow of knowledge, continuous flow of also working culture between the different locations. And how we have organized that, we are also completely international. This is also, I would say, quite unique. We are only speaking English day by day. Even that we are a Spanish company, we have more than 15 different nationalities inside the organization. So it's not possible to speak German or Spanish or whatever kind of language. So you need English as the common, let's say, tech language in my organization. Yeah. And again, we are one team, two locations, and we are profiting from each other. So the organization in Barcelona for sure is trying disruptive things, and if we have proved them, we are also bringing them into the rest of the organization. But on the other side, another part of let's say transformation part of the organization is our Agile Center of Excellence. We have created also this one with the new organization beginning 2019, and the Agile Center of Excellence is helping us to transform the IT organization. So they are working in Barcelona, they are working in Martorell, but they are working especially with the business areas, yeah, to learn them how you are doing let's say, agile development, what kind of methodologies you have, which kind of methodologies are useful for them. I'm not a fan of, let's say, 100% agile. I'm a fan of using the right tool for the right problem you have to solve. Okay?
Okay. Now, you had to grow this company from scratch, greenfield operation. So let's talk a little bit about your management style. How do you make sure you hire the right people? How do you make your team successful? What's your secret of success there?
So my secret of success, Hendrik, is first of all, trust your team. Yeah. So I'm only one part of the team, and this is for me the key. So I'm not a fan of micromanagement, completely not. So people which are in responsible functions in all levels, they have to take the decisions, and you need to enable them to make the decisions and yeah, to take the right decisions, because they are the experts. So regarding hiring, we have a really close collaboration also with our HR department. For me, yes, thinking into boxes, into organizational boxes, IT is their own department, but for example, we have involved our HR department very, very close from the beginning on inside SEAT Code, to learn from each other, to help us to find new ways of hiring people, to make these kind of remote hirings. This was only possible because we trust the responsible persons. And from a leadership style, on top to that, I think you need to be brave these days, especially because of the unclear situation of the automotive industry. As I told you, nobody can look into the crystal ball, but I think we need to be brave in taking decisions. Sometimes also fail fast, but trying things, and also not shoot the messenger, yeah, if something is failing, yeah. So we have tried things, we have also adapted things, and this is, let's say, my mindset of continuous learning, but also continuous transformation of an organization. We have the organization live since 2 years, and if there is something to optimize, we are optimizing that. Yeah, we are not waiting the next 10 years until the people are, let's say, run away and say, what a crazy organization. We are trying to adapt that in the situation it's needed.
Sebastian, you've been in automotive business for 21 years and on the IT sides for 6 years. How, if you, and things are changing fast. If you look back 6 years ago, what the role, typically the role was of a CIO, and if you look at what the role of the CIO is today, how would you say that has changed? And what is fundamentally really your role as CIO in SEA today?
For me, the role has changed, and I think we need more kind of general managers also in IT, which are understanding more the people and the organization than the let's say the deep dive of bits and bytes and data centers and want to solve each incident by themselves. So you need to be more the general manager, and this is exactly what I am. You know, I have no idea about IT at all. I'm joking. But 6 years ago, I was not involved in IT. I adapted myself to be part of the IT now later than being CIO, and I think you need to guide the organization brave enough, innovative enough, and fast enough, and also in a close collaboration with the business, but also with the mindset of how this can make business to the outside. So this is in a nutshell how I see it.
So you don't need to know how to configure a network or how to write software code, but you need to understand what the business really needs, what transformation that you need to support business transformation, and how IT and digital really works and what the value is.
Exactly. Yeah, I wrote myself software indeed in the school. I was programming Delphi. Yeah. So this was my.
Okay, that's a long time ago. Yes.
This is a long time ago, but it was my first touch point with IT. Interesting days. No, but I believe you do not need to understand network in detail. But what I did is, and this I think is important, you also need to be close to your team. So what I tried is also to understand how a software developer is working today in a modern organization. What are his necessities or her necessity? How is a network specialist working or a threat hunter, to understand their concerns, their chances, and to help them as a manager to move forward and to take the right decision as a team. So this is my understanding.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk a bit more about yourself, because I think the DNA of successful leaders is really important. The way that you lead, the way that you think, your convictions are really important, I think, to be really, really successful and be a top CIO in this world. So your leadership style, let's turn that around. And so what do you think the hundreds of people that work with you all over the world, 50 nationalities, what do you think they say about you when you're not around? Well, I mean, how do they perceive you as a leader, do you think?
I think they would say that I'm very close to them, yeah, that I have always, let's say, an open ear for them if needed, and they would also probably say that I'm pushy always.
Okay, that helps. Okay. So let's, on your personality, a little bit more on that. You have shared your MBTI profile with us, and we use that as a common thread through all these leadership deep dive interviews. You are an ENFJ, a protagonist. So that means you're extroverted, intuitive, more on the emotional feeling side, and more a judging personality. So typically people with that personality profile, their strengths are that they're tolerant, reliable, charismatic, altruistic, natural leaders. Does that resonate with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would describe really myself in making fast decisions. So I would say not all the decisions are right, but before I wait a year taking a decision, I take the decision, and probably then maybe 80 or 85% are correct, and then we are gaining speed and move forward. And for sure, as I told you, I want to be natural. So this is also kind of my personality. I never wanted to be someone else than I am. Yeah, you know, this is kind of also influencing you if you are growing in a professional career. You have a lot of influences from the system, but I wanted always to be natural and myself, and also close connected to the business. And for sure, I'm asking a lot of things in my team, but I would say one of the major topics I personally believe this is also kind of a strong field of myself, is taking the team with me. Yeah, so at the end making a common approach out of that, and that I'm not the only believer of the topic, because if you are alone, you are fail normally. Yeah, so you need the team behind, and you need to believe as a team that you are strong as a team.
Yeah. Now, people with your personality type, they also have potential weaknesses that they need to learn and to adapt and overcome. Typically, they could be overly idealistic. They could be too selfless, too sensitive, sometimes have fluctuating self-esteem, and some of them have difficulties making tough decisions. I mean, nobody's perfect. What are your development areas, and how did you develop in these areas to make sure that you're a top leader?
Yeah, so the important topic for me, Hendrik, is as I said, always learning. And this is also the reason, because I'm moving now into my next position. So I'm kind of I don't know how to say, if I don't want to be do things if they are boring. So I need a challenge to fulfill. Yeah. Maybe one topic I need to improve myself is being a bit more relaxed. Yeah, someday. Yeah, because not the whole organization is having the same speed. So this is definitely one topic I have to at least to reflect myself and to reflect with the organization that this is really working well. This is one topic, and besides of that, as I said, I'm always checking with feedback, and this is also what I recommend to my team members, to ask somehow 360 degrees what is the community talking about you. Yeah, what can you improve? What is good? What is bad? Where you have weaknesses? Yeah, and this is something I really recommend. All my people I'm developing over the years. Yeah, but if you ask for weaknesses, so topic is speed, also waiting sometimes for the rest of the organization, and also not being too much how to say, I don't know how to say it in English, a bit difficult. Not jumping too fast into the next topic, yeah. If you understand what I mean.
Sebastian, you are clearly somebody with strong ideas, strong values, and a high level of creative energy. And so, what is it that really drives you in doing this? I mean, putting so much of your heart and your resources and your personal life in your work. Why is it that you do that? What drives you? When are you happy at the end of the day?
At the end of the day, I'm happy if we have success as a team. So I give you an example. We started with our software development center, as I said, 2019, okay? And we were more or less at the beginning counting beans, yeah, about, okay, what we are doing and where are revenue streams. And we were really doing an Excel sheet and collecting a few thousand euros at the beginning, okay? Now, 2 years later, we have a revenue of 20 million euros. We have a double digit of profit, and the team is really so proud of what they have done. And this is at the end, what is making me proud. Yeah, as a team, we can help the business areas. We can help, let's say, our customers, and at the end, the team is happy in how we have reached that, how we have done that as a strong team together.
Yeah. Now, learning and developing yourself is clearly something that's very important in your life. And could you maybe tell us a little bit, who are the people in your career that really helped you to develop? Who were the mentors in your professional career?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had different types of mentors. You know, this is kind of also a very personal level. If you are recognizing, you can learn from somebody. So what I tried also in my career is finding people which are really much stronger than yourself. Yeah, where you say, wow, I don't know how he or she is doing that, but really, this is something I would also like to do with these kind of skills or capabilities. So what I did in my career is also always asking people. So it was not always people which were my boss or my colleague in terms of mentorship. I also ask people outside my organization directly if they want to help me, if they want to let's say, train me and that I can grow my professional capabilities.
Yeah. Now you have a family. You have a almost 2 year old daughter.
Yeah.
What are the values that you pass on to her? What are the values that are important in your life, and you want to make sure that she has as well?
So, for me, there are. In this age, there are some clear values I think you have to learn from the very beginning on, and these things are like saying really hello and goodbye. Yeah, so recognizing the one you are facing, and this is something also I think you can project to a modern leader. Yeah, so I know leaders which are not saying hello to everybody, which is for me kind of not understandable, because I was also trained differently by my family. Yeah? It's independent of who's coming or going, and which age, which personal grading somebody is having. So this is something I'm trying to learn my little one from the very beginning. Yeah, that you are creating a close relationship to people, that you have this kind of positive attitude if you are communicating to someone, and let's say a clear communication. Yeah.
Are there other values that you received from your family, from your parents, your grandparents, that are really defining how you think, how you operate?
Sure. For me, and this is what I've learned from my family, be also helping other people. Yeah, so this is definitely something I've learned from my parents, and this is something I also try to give not only in the private sector. I'm also trying in a professional in my professional life to other people. So I'm also happy if I can help people to grow. Yeah. So how you are training people, yeah, how you can guide them, not making the same mistake you did before, yeah. So this is kind of helping in in the professional sector, but on the other side also helping in the private life if there is help needed from friends, from family, from people around. And on the other side also, for sure not lying, things like that. So these are more the classical topics, but yeah.
Now, Sebastian, you're clearly a very successful professional. So you've been in the car business for 21 years, but I'm sure that, like everybody, you have made your mistakes and you had your failures. And it's from our failures and our mistakes that we can learn a lot. So my very simple question for you is, could you share with us what was your most brilliant failure that you have ever had, and how did you overcome it, and what did you learn from it?
Yeah, it's a good but also a difficult question. Mm-hmm. So one topic definitely. So you know, I have my master thesis done. Okay. Sorry, my doctor degree, my PhD. Sorry, mm-hmm. Yeah, my PhD, and this was something I wanted to learn and to grow as a young engineer. So I was feeling enough energy to do that, but mm-hmm. For doing that, I needed to have a second round in the university. Yeah, in Karlsruhe. So I did that. 3 years in parallel to my job, to reach mm-hmm. the target, to be ready to make my PhD. And then I did additionally 3.5 years my PhD besides of my job. And to be honest, this was for me a learning, and I would say in the past maybe also a mistake, believing that this is really working out with everything and not losing anything. Okay, so I lost on the way my girlfriend. I also lost on the way friends. Yeah, because I was really targeting on doing that. At the end, I'm not a guy on stopping halfway. So if I'm halfway gone, I want to go over the final line of reaching the goal. But I would say this was I would not call it mistake, but I would call it a big learning for myself, which also brought me on my personal energy limit, to be honest. Yeah. So I know mm-hmm. Perfectly where my personal energy limit is now.
Perfect. Let's thank you so much for this wonderful conversation, Sebastian. I wanted to finish with the last question. This video goes out on YouTube and all the social media and public platforms, and so I'm sure that many of the people that watch this will also have the ambition to become a successful CIO in the car business or in other industries. So what would be the one advice that you would give to yourself 10, 20 years ago to make sure that you reach the same level of success, maybe even faster than you have done?
Yeah, so definitely being brave in the things you want to do, and also if you are really believing in things to do, you can definitely do the things, yeah, but also not mm-hmm. losing yourself. Yeah, so this is something I really would like to give to people which have a career, which want to have a career, that be as you are, try to be as you are, and be brave enough to continue the ideas. We have a lot of people which are saying no, and this is not working, and we have always tried it and we failed. But if you are willing to do, you will find the right way to do.
Okay. And with that, on that note, I would like to thank you for your time, Sebastian. It was a pleasure and hopefully we can meet in the future and discuss cars a little bit more than just remote like here. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Hendrik. It was a pleasure for me, definitely. So stay healthy, and looking forward to see you personally.
See you soon. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.